Hey Scrappers, Tom here. We had a question that kind of touched on copper ingots that we've talked about before in our different ingot videos, whether aluminum or copper, and our opinion on ingots versus copper chop. And I'm not a huge ingot fan because as a scrapyard owner, I never know what's inside of the ingots. So when it comes to copper chop, I want to show you things that I would look for as an owner or as a scrap buyer, because there are machines out there that you can buy. There are smaller wire choppers that you can almost have in your garage, and you can take things like Cat 5, Cat 6, and you can run them through to get the copper out. But I want to show you what happens if you don't have a good piece of equipment versus when you do have a good piece of equipment. Now here in front of me I have some dirty copper chops that we bought from a customer. They ran it through, they had some fine pieces, but what you see in here is little pieces of garbage throughout. Piece of fiberglass, a couple of pieces of plastic, you see some dirt in here. This means that they were doing it, and some of the plastic, some of the garbage got left inside. When you look at it in my hand, you can see, yeah, there's definitely copper in there, but if this was sold to me, I would buy it as a dirty copper turning, not as a clean copper chop, and let me show you why. Here's a comparison of what clean chop looks like. Now, clean chop, you can see, you don't see any pieces of plastic, you don't see any pieces of fiber, just a clean material that went through a wire chopper. And this is from an industrial wire chopper. This is one that has multiple sorters and separators and screens, and it just makes a much cleaner product. So when you look at these two products next to each other, you can really see, okay, they're definitely both copper, but the cleanliness of the material on the right versus the dirtiness of the stuff on the left really changes things. So scrapyards will buy copper chop and they'll buy fine pieces of copper like this, but you certainly can't expect like a clean copper chop price, which should be similar to a bare bright. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to copper chop is there's a lot of copper wires that are tin coated. Now, if you can look at this, you don't see any tin coated copper on here, only stripped bare bright or bare bright copper. But once you get a piece of tin coated mixed in with this, you no longer have a clean copper chop. So these are things to keep in mind, common myths and things you learn about scrap. Any questions? Let us know.